Hi, my friends, it's your tour guide to the sci-fi side, me, Preston E. And on this video, we're going to have a look at Mystery Science Theater, Volume 38. Surprise! It was me doing the voiceover the whole time. Now I'm over here. On to the movies. First up, we have Invasion USA from Season 6. Before that, though, we get a short call to date with your family. Just another day here that ends in Y in the Ozarks. I can say that because I'm from here. A Date with Your Family is a 1950s short starring Hugh Beaumont as the narrator, Fred LaPorta as father, and, of course, Ralph Hodges as the brother. And the rest of the cast gets the "and the rest at Gilligan's Island"-style treatment because I found nothing on them. In this short, a father comes home from work to his wife who cooks him dinner as older son needs help with homework and daughter helps mother in the kitchen. And Junior comes home dirty from playing baseball. It's all 1950s Americana stuff without hiding from bombs under a desk or in a shelter. That comes later in Invasion USA, I promise. The narrator creeps on the family, telling them to clean up before dinner and help out with setting and cleaning the table. He also wants you to keep the conversation low and pleasing because he likes it that way and it helps with digestion. With the excitement levels low, Hugh Beaumont has got this family under his control in Pleasantville. Now, on to the movie. Hugh Beaumont wouldn't be around to keep things ship-shape, spit, spot, spick, and span in Invasion USA, however, as a group of Americans are presented scenarios with USA under attack. This 1952 flick is a Cold War film that shows people at a bar from various walks of life who have their happy hour immediately ruined by the news of a hostile foreign invasion of the USA. Don't you hate when that happens? But fear not, citizens. It was all just a hypnotic suggestion or booze doing the talking, because this invasion was just a dream. For an invasion, the boredom levels are as high as A Date with Your Family in this flick for a 2 out of 5 SOL bones. Speaking of bombs, Mike Dodge plays the A-bomb in a host segment, and he is da bomb.
Extra paper, American invaded, read all about it. Extra paper, American invaded, read all about it.
Oh, that's a walk-on. Yeah.
Okay, now that we dodged that bomb, on to another bomb with Season 6's Colossus and the Headhunters. In this movie, we have a muscle-bound, meat-headed hero named Colossus, or Mike Cheesesteak, played by Kirk Morris, who helps natives on an island escape volcanic eruption by boarding his raft. They set sail to an unknown island, and while my cheesesteak is roaming in the woods, his buddies are captured by a tribe led by Queen Amoha, played by Laura Brown. My cheesesteak, or my beefcake, and his buddies decide to help out Queen Amoha, or Amaho, and her people against the headhunters who also inhabit the island.
Oh, that's always nice. Just set my tent on fire.
They find her dear old blind daddy, fight off the headhunters, and save the queen's and her islanders' backsides. My cheesesteak tries to ride off into the sunset like a true Western hero on his trusty steed, the Raft, only to have Amoha swim to him and declare her love. It's all far less exciting than it sounds. The whole segments get a high dose of cuteness as Pink Doggo, Nummy Muffin, Cuckoo Butter goes from Frank to Mike and back to Frank. The movie gets a 2 out of 5 SOL bones, but Nummy Muffin Cuckoo Butter gets a 100 plus on the cuteness scale. Ah. Up next, we have High School Big Shot, also from Season 6. Before that, though, we get a short called Out of This World. Out of This World is indeed out of this world, as an angel named Whitey and a devil named Red are file clerks in the outskirts of heaven, whose job it is to monitor bread truck salesmen. Yeah, I don't know. Red and Whitey make a bet that involves bread truck driver Bill Dudley, played by Joseph Campanella. If Whitey can get Bill to go back to his naughty, shirking ways at work, Red gets new points for his pitchfork. If Whitey gets him to stay on the straight and narrow good boy path and care about his job, she gets new sets of strings for her harp. In the end, Whitey wins, and we learn a lot about the wholesomeness of bread, specialty breads, bread displays, and how hardcore the bread delivery business actually is.
$1 a week.
Well, don't you ever slip up?
You coming on to me?
Sure, I'm just as human as the next guy. That's why I keep these bullseyes handy, so that a small slip-up doesn't turn into a big trip-up.
Oh,
Well, off to the races. What do you say?
Make sure you stock your truck up so that you don't, well, you know.
If a store is selling more bread than I got room for in my display space,
Then we got a
I
problem.
talked to the grocer about giving me more room. Say, near the checkout counters. Or on the counter next to the register.
maybe I rough him up. Maybe I...
This is a tough business, a mighty competitive business.
I've been shot
For
twice.
the guy who had goodwill,
I steal bikes on the side.
always got something. But you know,
Sometimes I want to put a bullet in my
a lot of
skull.
the other bread boys.
Also, if you like over-the-top community theater acting, then Red is your man.
Grosser goodwill, plus volume,
Fey acting.
plays.
Flamboyant
Okay,
prancing.
so you want to bet. And perhaps, as a little added distraction from his work,
I'll do community theater.
after all, that was only a bet. But from now on, I'm going to keep a pretty close watch on these guys.
Especially when they're showering.
Whitey not here to hold you down in this short, though, and the goofy premise and quirkiness of it all puts it in my top 5 favorite MST3K shorts. I like bread. It makes me poop. Yay! Now, on to the movie. Unfortunately, the movie High School Big Shot will not be the silly, goofy, bread-filled fun the short is. But thankfully, Mike and the bots are here to fix that. The movie sees a smarty-pants high schooler named Marv trying his best to impress a girl named Betty, who wants nothing to do with him other than to get him to help her with a paper about Hamlet. Betty really wants a cool rider motorcycle driver and not the boy next door. So our hero Marv teaches himself how to ride a cycle to impress her, much to the chagrin of the T-Birds and... oh wait, no, that's the plot of Grease too. Our boy Marv does his best to help Betty with the paper, but he is also busy dealing with his constantly unemployed drunk daddy who can never keep a job or a woman or sober for too long. Betty Mercy dates Marv, but only agrees to hitch with him if he gets a buttload of money to support her spending ways. Marv gets involved with 2 criminals to steal $1 million at Marv's place of employment, but no good Betty gets her bully boyfriend Vince to steal it from him. What an ingrate. In the end, most of the characters are killed, Marv gets arrested, and dear old daddy hangs himself like a piñata. It's enough to make one want to skip the bread and go straight for the ice cream till you pass out in your underwear on the couch. It's one of the more depressing endings in an MST3K movie, and not even Brad can help here, but I still liked it short enough to elevate this episode to a 3 out of 5 SOL Bones.
Liquid assets.
It's juicy.
And finally, we get Track of the Moon Beast from Season 10. This 1976 sci-fi horror stars Chase Cordell as Paul, a mineralogist who changes major from archaeology, and he meets up with former professor Johnny Longbow and the pink-loving, legally blonde reject Kathy, along with some other students of Johnny's.
Johnny Longbow.
Johnny Longbone?
Count Dracula. Better known on campus as Bud Keeler and
Bud
Janet
Keeler?
Price.
Hi, do forgive us.
Anyway, Paul gets his world rocked while on a nature date with Kathy. They don't have sex or anything. Paul just gets hit in the head with a moon rock that fragments into his brain during a meteor shower.
My own personal moon rock.
Moon rock? Oh, wow.
Now, whenever the moon is full, old Polly Boy turns into a killer bipedal lizard that eats people. I guess he is the Lizard King. Johnny Longbow and chunky police Captain McCabe monitor Paul, as do a group of scientists, but it does no good, as Paul still escapes to wreak havoc in the desert. In the end, Johnny Longbow has to put an end to Apollosaurus with a meteorite-tipped bow and arrow.
It's cozy watching your boyfriend die.
What's not to like about this episode? If you like corny 70s folk music, it's here.
California lady, won't you bring your love to me?
Get it yourself.
If you like good food recipes, it's here.
This is a great meal, Professor.
That's a great stew. What's in it?
Oh, a lot of things.
Rattlesnake, Velveeta.
Chicken, corn, green peppers, chili, onions,
Hair.
well, it's an old recipe around here.
If you like seeing a bunch of old geezers get killed, it's here.
Don't touch the side of the tent, now it'll leak. Let's party! Woo-hoo!
Mike and the Bots even do a behind-the-music documentary on the band that played California Lady in one of the host segments.
Okay, tonight, that's tonight on SOL's Legends of Rock.
Okay, good.
The tragic story behind the band that played California Lady. The band that played California Lady began as a duo featuring the fish-lipped guy and the Eskimo. They developed their sound playing this kind of music in hard scrabble bars before a growing circle of fans. It wasn't until they added the friendly-looking backup singer that the band that played California Lady finally hit it big with California Lady.
This episode is one of my all-time favorites, and Johnny Stew rocks, by the way. Just skip the hair. This bad boy has lots of wall-to-wall laughs, and it moon rocks so wow for a 5 out of 5 SOL Bones. Mystery Science Theater Volume 38 gets a final score of 12 out of 20 SOL Bones. Well, that about does it for me. Please like, sub, and share. Thank you so much for watching, and have a happy and safe 4th of July. Just watch out for the meteorites.
Moon rock? Oh, wow.